have this wife. Her name is Robyn, and she would never let me do anything naughty. As bad as I want to do it. I got another one of those emails from some woman asking sort of like to get to know us for the purpose of joining the family.
The Browns are returning, and the new season promises to be more emotionally charged than ever. Following multiple breakups, the family now faces major turning points. Meri takes a tentative step into the dating world through an awkward yet promising speed dating event, while Janelle begins moving toward a spiritual divorce after experiencing a freeing trip to New Orleans. Christine and David are settling into their married life, but Christine is shaken when some of her children begin relocating to North Carolina near Janelle, sparking feelings of jealousy and hurt. This raises the question, could tension be forming between the two women? Kody, meanwhile, continues to wrestle with the fallout of his fractured family. Haunted by painful memories in the home he once shared with Robyn, he expresses a desire to move and start fresh. Viewers already know that he and Robyn purchased a home valued at over $2 million. In his attempt to make peace, Kody meets one-on-one with each of his ex-wives to offer long-overdue apologies. For once, he appears to be swallowing his pride. Robyn, on the other hand, clings to her belief in plural marriage, even as Kody openly questions its future. The storyline takes an unexpected turn when Kody begins entertaining attention from women online who are interested in joining his family. This revelation hints that the show could be preparing to introduce a potential new sister wife. The season promises to delve deeply into the Browns' attempts to rebuild their lives, both as individuals and as a fractured family unit. From the awkwardness of first dates to emotionally charged confrontations, Sister Wives will examine whether this once unified family can finally move forward without the bitterness and blame that have defined them for so long. Season 20 is set to begin on September 28th, just 3 days after Kody appears on Special Forces. Instead of disappearing from television, Cody Brown will be featured on 2 different shows, on 2 different networks, within the same week this fall. The new trailer for Season 20 has already been released. For years, the show has been considered fraudulent, with Kody and Robyn often accused of lying. Now, however, it seems that some members of the family are becoming more open about what they are willing to share, while others appear to be embarking on a journey of redemption. In this upcoming season, Kody is shown attempting to reconnect with some of the women. Whether this is an effort to win them back or simply an attempt to apologize in order to repair his public image remains unclear. What is certain is that he will sit down for dinner with each one of them to discuss the past, leading to an explosive setup where they all end up in the same room, at least in part. The entire situation is nothing short of chaotic.
I wanted to apologize with all my heart. I said I didn't love you. That wasn't true.
Is there any part of you that would ever go back to Kody?
Kody is apparently on the hunt for new wives. The synopsis for this season confirms that he is indeed on a redemption tour, attempting to make amends. However, this all coincides with the period when the family is working to settle Coyote Pass. The timing raises questions about whether his actions are genuine or if he is simply trying to protect his finances and manipulate others into giving him what he wants. Kody's intentions have rarely seemed sincere. Coyote Pass has already been sold, with the property ultimately divided in a way that was considered somewhat fair among 4 parties, even though Kody and Robyn operate as a single unit. Kody, however, treats Robyn not as one wife among others, but as an entirely separate individual. According to the synopsis, the Browns are back and more emotionally raw than ever. In the wake of multiple breakups, the family faces major turning points. Meri dips her toe into dating with an awkward but promising speed dating event, while Janelle takes steps toward a spiritual divorce after a freeing trip to New Orleans. Christine and David are settling into married life, but Christine is shaken when her kids begin moving to North Carolina near Janelle, sparking jealousy and hurt. Kody continues to struggle with the aftermath of his fractured family. Haunted by painful memories in the home he shared with Robyn, he wants to move again and start fresh. but healing won't come easy. In an effort to make peace, Kody meets one-on-one with his ex-wives to offer long overdue apologies. Meanwhile, Robyn clings to her belief in plural marriage, even as Kody questions its future and entertains attention from women online asking to be his new wife. The season dives deep into the Browns' efforts to rebuild their lives both separately and together. From awkward first dates to emotional confrontations, Sister Wives explores whether this once unified family can finally move forward without the bitterness and blame that's defined them for so long. The synopsis seems straightforward until the mention of bitterness and blame. That phrasing brings to mind Michelle Duggar, as the word bitterness often feels like a fundamentalist way of dismissing people who have suffered abuse by suggesting they are simply unable to get over it. Another surprising detail is Christine supposedly feeling jealous about her children moving to North Carolina to be closer to Janelle. This seems odd. For example, Mykelti and Tony didn't move there to be near Janelle. They relocated because Tony had an opportunity in North Carolina. Isabel lives in Utah, Gwendolyn and Beatrice live in Arizona, Aspen lives in Utah, and only Peden's current situation is uncertain. He has been seen in photos with Janelle and has always been close to her, which might explain speculation, but it still raises the question of why Christine would feel hurt by this. Meanwhile, Kody's storyline includes entertaining women online. Despite his claims of being finished with polygamy, that appears unlikely. Kody has spent decades surrounded by multiple women vying for his attention, and it seems improbable that he would be satisfied living solely with Robyn. His personality craves constant praise, attention, and validation. The bigger question is, who are these women willing to involve themselves with someone described as a manipulative maniac? The trailer for the upcoming season only adds more fuel to the drama.
We're going to close on Coyote Pass soon.
This is bull. I'm not selling this land until everything is perfectly fair and we do this the right way. Sorry.
The situation with Coyote Pass raises questions, particularly because the details of the split are already known. Robyn was the last to sign the paperwork, and she was the one delaying the process, not anyone else. The others had already agreed, and the division was settled. Janelle signed a warranty deed and quitclaim deed, completing all the transfers necessary. Each person was set to walk away with 25% of the proceeds. Since Kody and Robyn are legally married, together they would receive 50%. But Kody has continued to treat Robyn as her own separate individual. What seems strange is Robyn portraying herself as the one trying to ensure fairness. In reality, Meri and Janelle had signed months earlier, while Robyn stalled repeatedly. She only signed at the very last moment when the property was already in the process of being sold, and she had no choice but to complete the transfer. This raises the question, when Robyn talks about wanting things to be fair, does she mean fair for herself or fair for the other wives? It almost seems as though she might have been hoping for more than 50%.
I would love healing with Meri. I would love healing with Janelle. I would love healing with Christine.
The timing of Kody's actions raises serious concerns, particularly because they coincide with Christine's custody and child support battle over Truly. This overlap suggests that he may have had an incentive to try to win her over, potentially persuading her to drop the case or agree to mediation in order to avoid paying support. Similarly, with the division of Coyote Pass underway, gaining favor with his ex-wives could have reduced his financial obligations there as well. At the core, it seems Kody's motivation is centered around money. Beyond financial gain or television appearances, there appears to be little reason for him to suddenly seek reconciliation. Christine, for her part, has shown little interest in communicating with him, but the fact that they share custody of a minor child for at least a few more years makes some level of contact unavoidable. Unless Kody has chosen not to be involved in Truly's life, coordination between them is necessary. The situation also highlights Meri's inconsistent stance toward Kody. Jen pointed out the pattern of continually questioning when one will finally accept who Kody truly is. This perspective seems to explain Meri's shifting tone on social media, alternating between anger, defense, resentment, and support. One moment she appears finished with him, only to circle back and defend him the next, creating a cycle of contradictions that makes it difficult to gauge her true feelings.
We talked about the spiritual divorce, and I think I'm ready.
I love that you're doing this, Janelle.
Kody has publicly stated during the tell-alls that he is finished with polygamy. Yet footage from the same time period, with him wearing the same clothes, shows him telling Robyn that another woman had reached out wanting to join the family. According to the season synopsis, Kody is online entertaining women, which could mean chatting, joining websites designed for people seeking plural marriage, or even reconnecting with his church. The fact remains, he is engaging with women interested in becoming part of his family. At the same time, Kody claims that Robyn won't let him be naughty. This is ironic given that Robyn was the one who originally pushed for plural marriage, while simultaneously insisting she would only consider it again if she knew for certain it would succeed. That stance raises suspicion about her true motivations, as it appears tied more to securing a financial future and keeping the show alive, rather than genuine belief in the lifestyle. Still, it is difficult to imagine Kody being content with just Robyn. She is portrayed as dull compared to the dynamic environment he thrived in for over 30 years, surrounded by multiple women competing for his affection. Kody has always needed constant attention and validation, making it unlikely that a monogamous marriage with Robyn alone would satisfy him. Meanwhile, interactions with his ex-wives continue to raise questions about his motives. In one exchange, Meri firmly insists they are never, ever, ever getting back together. In another, Janelle sits down with him for dinner, only to hear him confess, "I said that I loved you, and that was a lie." Both conversations occurred around the same time as the negotiations over Coyote Pass, which cast doubt on the sincerity of his words. The pattern is familiar. Kody tends to reappear with declarations of love, apologies, or attempts at reconciliation precisely when legal battles or financial divisions threaten his resources. This mirrors the classic behavior of hoovering, a tactic often used by narcissists who cannot tolerate losing their supply of attention and control. When their influence fades, they return to pull others back in. Meri has long been a major source of Kody's supply, and he seems to believe he can still manipulate her with carefully chosen words. With Janelle, history shows that she has left before and returned, giving Kody reason to think he can lure her back again. However, despite their vulnerabilities, neither Meri nor Janelle appears likely to reconcile with him at this stage. The only one who has fully moved on is Christine, who is remarried and resolute in her decision never to return to Kody. This raises the central question: is Kody truly seeking reconciliation for genuine reasons, or is this merely a storyline crafted for television and financial preservation? The storyline of Kody going online to entertain women raises the question of whether this is purely for the cameras or if it reflects his inability to remain satisfied in a monogamous relationship with Robyn. Despite repeatedly declaring that he would never again pursue plural marriage, describing polygamy as repulsive, even abhorrent, he now appears to be actively seeking attention from other women. This contradiction suggests one of two possibilities. Either Kody is genuinely craving the validation and affection he once received from multiple wives, or this entire arc has been constructed to preserve the premise of the show. Sister Wives was built on polygamy, and without the addition of new wives or continued engagement with that lifestyle, the series risks devolving into a story solely about financial disputes and custody battles. The idea that Kody may be engineering these conversations for the cameras seems plausible. Meeting with Janelle, Meri, and Christine one by one provides a convenient way to inject drama and maintain viewer interest. Last season, when the family members lived entirely separate lives and avoided interaction, the lack of conflict made for weaker television. Now, their forced reunions create tension and keep audiences engaged. Meanwhile, Kody's priorities appear misaligned. Rather than focusing on rebuilding relationships with his children, he is shown searching for new women online. The pursuit of attention outside his existing marriage highlights the same pattern of neglect that has plagued his family relationships for years. This leads to the central question for viewers. Is Cody truly seeking reconciliation or expansion of his family, or is this simply a desperate attempt to remain relevant and keep the show alive? Regardless, the spectacle continues, leaving fans debating whether they are more intrigued by the possibility of Cody finding new wives or by the ongoing drama with his exes. The season sets up the tension clearly. Is this about real relationships, or is it all just a contrived storyline for the cameras?